Welcome everybody here to Quebedeaux here live on a Tuesday night here. This is 446 Sports. And again, my name is Billy French alongside Coach Thomas Scully, my partner all season long. Of course, Shane Henry, our producer behind the camera. Thanks to Quebedeaux, as always, we have the Reservation Roundup. We do that every week, normally on a Thursday night, Coach. But we had to do some change. We had some scheduling conflicts, so we moved it to Tuesday night. And, of course, Quebedeaux always works with us. They always do such a great job here. And so this is the Reservation Roundup tonight on a Tuesday night. So we're going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to be probably saying Thursday night all night here tonight, Coach, as we get ready for a big game Friday night with the Peabody Warhorses. Of course, before we get into that, we'll talk a little bit here about what we saw last Friday night here at the Reservation. Tioga takes on West Washita, Coach, and man, what a night of football and a great win for Tioga.
Yeah, it was a great win.
We got some problem. Yeah, we're good. I think he might be on the mute. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear it now. We, came out and just dominated in dominating fashion. You know, we talked about it before the game. This was another revenge game. They came out and hit on all cylinders in the first half and took a real big lead. And the thing that was impressive was they did exactly what Coach talked about them doing, and that was taking the lead early on in the game. And, of course, Case and Curvin and Kenny did what they do every game. And, Angelo Smith had a great catch as well and had some great catches throughout the night. But defensively, again, Coach Muter and that defense came prepared with another little wrinkle, threw in that bare front, and just gave West Washita trouble. Kept on changing who was going to take the pitch man, the quarterback. So that triple threat option that West Washita thought they were going to come in and run and had success with last year, they really shut them down the entire first half.
Absolutely. A big 49-7 win, Tioga over West Washita. Again, this is the Reservation Roundup here live at Quebedeaux on a Tuesday night this week at 7 p.m. Appreciate everybody coming out. Make sure when you come out here to Quebedeaux, you wear your Tioga red. They give you a certain menu, and you get some really good food here from Quebedeaux. Appreciate Antonio and the crew for all they do, being proud supporters of 446 Sports and Tioga football. Tonight's wide receiver nights. We got Coach Christman, not Coach Dan Christman. We got the younger Christman. Mr. Ethan Christman will come and talk to us here in a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about the wide receivers tonight. Of course, man, we got some wide receivers. Of course, Curvin Johnson, Christian Isles, Angelo Shelton, Tarver Landry's mixed in with that, more of a tight end. But, the weapons that Tioga has, Coach, man, it's nice. It doesn't matter what week it is, whether it's linebacker weeks or whatever. We got playmakers on every side of the ball, and it's just been fun this year. Of course, Tioga, with their only defeat, is the first game of the year against Sterlington, and I'll live by it, and I'll say it again. If we played Sterlington this week, I believe we would beat them as good as we've gotten and improved that we've gotten every week, and we're just firing on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, and the advantage is being able to change defensively, being able to put in different packages, in small packages. He really likes to stay in that base, and talking with Coach Muter, he doesn't want to change a lot, but just putting in a wrinkle here and there, and it makes a difference, especially when you're playing that type of offense like West Washita had. Sterlington came in with it. Gina was similar, but they had the split back set.
Yeah.
And they had two really good running backs as well. So, they've been able to take away the team that what they do best. They've been able to take that away, and that's why they've had so much success. And giving the offense the ball on the better part of the field, the majority of the games this year. To be 7-1, you've got to have some advantages. And advantages getting the ball on the short side of the field. But with the weapons we have, it doesn't really matter if we're on the short side or if we're backed up into our end zone. We're going to find a way to come out, and we did that, all night long Friday night as well.
Again, a big 49-7 win for Tioga over West Washita. They start the scoring, and something that Tioga's been able to do is because the offense is so good and can score so quickly, they put their opponents, basically make them one-dimensional on having to throw the ball over the top, and that's where our defensive line has really come through, making a lot of plays, making a lot of forced turnovers and stuff like that, is because of we can score the ball so fast. We can get down there, whether we need to run the ball, whether we need to pass the ball. Case Malone can throw it over the top if we need it, but if we need to make it more of a Kenny Ponche night or a Jackson Tarver night, we can do that. And it really forces our opponents to be at a disadvantage early on because they're immediately coming out, especially if we get possession first. We're going to come down there and make something happen really quick, and it puts them on their toes early on.
Yeah, and it opens up, with Kenny, the way he's been running the ball, and then Tarver coming in and helping him. The offensive line has done such a great job of just forcing their will on those defensive lines of the other opponents. And you've got to tip your hat to Coach Brumfield and Coach Book on what they've done with that offensive line. And, again, when you think about every group in that offense, between the offensive line, the receivers, the running back, and, of course, Case doing what he does, it's an advantage when you've got an offensive line like Tioga does. Not only are they big, but they're gonna put their will on you, and they have opened up some holes. Kenny's all the way through week 8, he's got 162 carries for 1,175 yards and 15 touchdowns. That doesn't happen without that offensive line, and that doesn't happen with Kervin Johnson having 41 receptions, 995 yards, and 14 touchdowns. When you have those two combinations, that's pretty balanced when you think about what we've been able to do.
That's good numbers for the entire season.
That's
and
right.
We're only in week
week 8. Yeah, and then Case Malone, he's 85 for 35 attempts, 1,643 yards passing, and 19 touchdowns. And that's not counting the runs he has. So, as a defensive opponent, you've got your hands full. And, again, that's what – we've played some really good defenses, and they have had a hard time trying to figure out, okay, are we going to try to stop the pass? Or are we going to stop the run? And the minute they double-team Kervin, then that only leaves 9 in the box. Well, guess what? Now we're putting 6 linemen in on that offensive side, and now we're 6 on 5. And when Tarver or when AJ gets to that second line and they're hitting those linebackers, and then we've got all that offensive line pushing, and then you got Big Ponche back there just driving that ball for 5 to 7 yards a carry. That's why we're averaging over 50 points a game.
It makes for a long night for our opponent's defense, for sure. Of course, starting off right off the bat last week, Malone to Johnson, 20-yard touchdown pass. Then Kenny comes right back there with a touchdown run, 1-yard TD run. Then Cohen Henry with yet another I mean, it's like we're just over and over again. Cohen Henry. Oh, is he a running back? No. This is your captain. This is your Mike linebacker that just seems to be in the right spot at the right time every week on special teams, and they just kick it right to him. We talk about it all the time. We always say, don't kick the Kervin. Don't kick the Kervin. Don't kick the Cohen Henry because he's going to take it to the house. And Cohen does again. And then, of course, Malone to Johnson for an 11-yard touchdown. And then Johnson with an 80-yard TD run. They kicked one to him in special teams. He took it to the house. Then Malone to Angelo Shelton for the 15-yard touchdown pass and that was our Southern Air cool play of the game was Malone to Angelo. And then finally West Washita scores their first score right there in the fourth quarter, a big 52-yard touchdown run. And then we finish it off with a 9-yard touchdown run by Kenny Ponche, which brings it to 49-7. Ethan Bridges had himself a night. He was our 446 Sports player of the game. And a lot of that was, he's been so good since, again, he struggled. We talked about this. He struggled a little bit week one on some extra points, but has got it dialed in now here. And Ethan's looking good, getting touchbacks. So he's really given our defense a lot of room to really make some plays when he kicks the ball off. It's a touchback machine right now. And of course, our Express Employment Professionals lineman of the week was none other than Mr. Mario Jacobs, and he created some big holes for Kenny Ponche, and it was just fun to watch that whole game Friday night.
Oh, it was, and you going back to Cohen, and I was talking to Coach Tripp after the game. He said Cohen's got more touchdowns than Tarver and Kervin on the punt return. And he said, and they're not. He's not even the deep man. And
yeah.
He said, but they're just kicking it straight to him. But that's just being heads up, and that's those guys. Just when you think about who's on the special teams, and we've talked about this several times, putting your best 11 on the field at all times. And I think that's been the biggest difference this year. Not only for Tioga, but if other people would do that, you don't realize how hard you guys are wanting to play for you. And that's been the biggest key. Tioga's guys have been playing hard for each other, been playing hard for their coaches and for the community, and it shows, and you've seen it, and you just got to tip your hat to these guys, and what a turnaround season they've had. And, they've been on that redemption tour, and, boy, they are just lighting it up. And it is fun. It's fun when you get to watch games like that.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's been like that all season long. It's in the past, it's your stars on your offense are not going to see any time on the defense. They're not really going to see anything in the special teams. You go get the younger guys in there in special teams, and you teach them to stay in their lanes and do all this. Well, this year, because we have our playmakers on the front lines on kickoffs or guys that don't normally play special teams, they're that's your big curving, guys that you don't normally see in that, because coach is not afraid to put them in those situations. Big plays are happening in weird timing and because you have such big star players making plays out of nothing.
Absolutely, and it's amazing what they've been able to do, and even the offensive linemen, Tucker Landry playing both ways,
yeah.
and then being in the middle on the hands team, and then they kicking the ball right to him, trying to think they're going to bounce one off of him, and he picks it up, almost returns it for a touchdown. So I'll say this about this senior group. They're leaving everything on the field in every game they play, and there's no doubt, there's no regret when they walk off. And if you talk to any of them, that when they walk off that field, there's no regret. They've left everything on the field, and they've done it for 8 games, and they'll continue to do it. And you got to love that as a coach, and you got to love that watching it, the fans and the community and the parents watching their kids do that. It's just phenomenal.
And you could tell the atmosphere at the reservation. Everybody's pumped up. The whole community feels that, we got a good team this year. You know what I mean? They see the changes. They see things that are different. And, man, it's getting better and better and better in every week. We're 2-0 in district right now, of course, beating West Washita last week, and then, of course, taking care of Waspin the week before. So 2-0 into district play. That's exactly what you want. We got Peabody Friday night. Then we turn around and we come back home and take on Grant. And then we finish up with the team that we were expecting to see towards the end of the season. That's that Franklin Parish Patriot team, and we know how good they are. We were talking to some of the radio team for the West Washita team the other night, Friday night, and they were like, man, y'all, that game, and of course, we're allowed to look ahead.
Right.
Players can. We can
right.
do that. But they said, man, that Franklin Parish Tioga game is going to be one of the best games. It's going to be in the entire state of Louisiana. He says, because you guys match up so well. And he said, man, he said, y'all got that defense y'all are running right now, and the way that they're making plays, and that Curvin Johnson kid, that's how he said, that Curvin Johnson kid, it's going to be special to watch you guys play the rest of the year. And I said, look, I can't disagree with you, man. It's fun to watch, and it's always a bonus when your offense is going to score 45, 50 points a game.
Yeah, and those guys being able to see them play, and having played them already, that's the advantage they had. Yeah, and that was a good – and so for them to say that, very complimentary. But you look at our group here, and they're just really focused on next team up, and you got to love that. And, that's the other thing that's been impressive. They haven't looked past anybody.
No.
Every week it's been who we got, and that's what they're focused on, and talking with the coaches throughout the week. That's all look, we're locked in on these guys, and they're still game planning into Wednesday and Thursday when they're going through the walkthrough, just to make sure that they haven't left anything unturned.
Well, with the season that they had last year and the losses that they got, and it was a lot of we're in the ball game until the very end, something happens, and then, the score doesn't dictate exactly what happened. You said it. The redemption tour is absolutely on fire this year, but every game – these football guys, their mindset is, I want to go back. They remember every game. They remember every game. So, like last week with the West Washita, of course, we went down to West Washita last year, and it was a rough game. It was probably the roughest game of the season last year as far as there was penalties. We were very undisciplined. We made a lot of mistakes. There was a lot of personal fouls. There was some, I want to say there was maybe even an ejection or something. But it was Cohen. I thought it was. So I knew they had something to prove last week. And, of course, then you got we'll talk a little bit about Peabody a little bit later on. But, you got something to prove every week, and they have definitely lived up to the expectations, because they knew as juniors last year, this senior class, that the talent was there last year. It's just we had some bad breaks. Things just did not go our way. and they're going our way this year, but that's because of the work that they've put in, and this senior class is special, man. They really are. I'm looking forward to seeing how the season finishes up. Not looking forward to not having them next year. You know what I mean? And you're always looking ahead, just kind of thinking, wow, this senior class is very, very special, and it's well deserved that they're enjoying this season right now.
Yeah, and that's what you want as a senior in high school. You want to have your best season, and you want to have the best memories. And these guys are making great memories, and they'll last forever. But the great thing about this group is you can see the chemistry and the having each other's back all the time, and everything they do. They're out there. I mean, midway through the season, we saw some of the starters calling timeout. They would call timeout on the field. Some of the seniors are grabbing the water bottles, bringing the jugs out there to the people that were on the field because they might not be in the game. You don't see that on teams throughout the high school football teams, and for them to do that and having each other's back and talking about leadership, and it comes from everybody. And so, you got to be proud of them. But, again, we're halfway through district, but still got a lot of 3 district games left to play, and being able to be back in town and playing, across the river at Peabody, as we'll talk about it, they got to be excited about that because, they're not going to look past anybody, and they're looking forward to this game as well.
Well, I can tell you right now, schedule-wise, this has been a very, very beneficial season as far as travel.
Yeah.
Of course, we had the game against Richwood where we played at Richwood, which is not a bad drive at all compared to what we've done in the past. And then we finish up the season at Franklin Parish at Winsboro. That'll be the furthest drive we have this season. But having away games at Peabody is very beneficial. Anytime you can go to Peabody or even Grant, it's not that bad of a drive, so it doesn't really change the whole week scheduling and everything like that. So,
being home and being right down the road to going to Pineville in that big rivalry game.
That's another one.
That was the other one.
I enjoy that. I hope we get to keep them on the schedule for the foreseeable future. Of course, it's always been that rivalry week here. But we're live here at Quebedeaux. This is the Reservation Roundup here on a Tuesday night this week instead of Thursday night. Make sure you come out and tell Quebedeaux so much. They do such a great job for us. They feed us. There's great food here, great atmosphere. Of course, cannot do anything without our title sponsors. We appreciate Kingstop Chevron, 2080 Chevron. There are the title sponsors of Tioga football on 446 Sports. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk with the wide receivers coach, Ethan Christman, and talk to a couple of the wide receivers as well. I seen Curvins here. I seen Christian Isles, Mr. Homecoming King. I saw him a little while ago as well. We'll talk to them a little bit, and then we'll talk about Peabody. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. This is 446 Sports. This is the Reservation Roundup live at Quebedeaux. We'll be right back.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by your local convenience stores, where friendly faces, cold drinks, hot snacks, and everything you need are just around the corner. For a quick stop before the big game, your hometown convenience stores are always ready, always here for you. Swing by today, and remember, support local, shop local. Highway 2080 Chevron, Kingstop, Fuel Plus, Ball Chevron, and Cougar Stop. At Alexandria Solutions, we believe every strong community starts with healthy minds and healthy families. That's why we're proud to stand alongside Tioga High School as a corporate sponsor. We're here to support the Tioga Indians from the classroom to the playing field, because when students succeed, our whole community thrives. At Alexandria Solutions, we provide compassionate care for mental health and addiction. No referral is needed to make an appointment, and we accept most insurances, because getting help should be simple. Alexandria Solutions, proud to support the Tioga Indians and proud to serve our community. Go Indians! At Woodman Life, we believe in standing strong for our communities because together we can build a brighter future. From supporting local schools with resources and scholarships to sponsoring programs that give children the tools they need to succeed, Woodman Life is proud to invest in the next generation. Our members live, work, and serve right here in your hometown, volunteering and making a difference where it matters most. When you see Woodman Life, you see neighbors helping neighbors and a promise to keep giving back. Woodman Life, standing strong for community, standing strong for you.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. As the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right all year round. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $6,000.
Find a dealer near you at LouisianaKubotaDealers.com.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
Here's an important message for everyone in Central Louisiana experiencing changes in their vision. If you've met this year's Medicare deductible and are experiencing vision changes due to cataracts, then right now is the best and most affordable time to schedule your procedure with the cataract team at Wallace Eye Associates. A new year means a new deductible, so when it's time for cataract surgery, there's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
Firehouse Subs just partnered with Hot Ones to create 2 new hook and ladder subs.
One with pickles marinated in Last Dab Reaper sauce to test yourself.
And a milder one with crispy garlic chips if tests aren't really your thing.
Find out how hot you like it for a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
When it comes to celebrating big moments, BK Distributors has you covered. From eye-catching fathead decals and senior banners, to custom cutouts that bring your favorite faces to life, we help make memories larger than life. Cheer loud and proud with hand fans and personalized signs, or honor achievements with awards and trophies that shine just as bright as the people who earn them. Whether it's for your school, your team, your business, or your community, BK Distributors delivers quality, creativity, and service you can trust. BK Distributors, where every moment deserves to stand out.
We've all seen how quickly things can change. Everything from the world around us to the cost of things we use on a daily basis. That's why we all need someone in our corner to keep our family protected while still watching out for our pocketbook. I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. There's no better time than now to complete an insurance review to make sure you're properly covered and not paying too much.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Reservation Roundup live at Quebedeaux here in Pineville, Louisiana. This is 446 Sports production of Tioga Indian football here. We are joined now by wide receiver coach Ethan Christman. And, Coach, this is new for me. I know it's new for you, but it's new for me. Of course, I've called your ball games all these years. Yeah. Then, of course, you go off to LCU and you dominate over there. Then you come back home and coach. And, man, it's got to be fun to have the receiving core that you have, buddy, for your I guess it would be considered your first year full. I know you worked a little bit during the summer and everything last year, but it's got to be fun coaching these type of caliber wide receivers.
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying every minute of it. They're just so good and everything that they do, and I'm so blessed for my first year to have these guys.
Well, you got a strong stable of wide receivers, of course, Kervin Johnson, Angelo Shelton, Christian Isles. Then you throw in guys like Tarver Landry coming out of that tight end spot. It's been fun to watch them all year long. Of course, every one of them making plays last week. Of course, Case Malone to Angelo Shelton was our Southern Air Cool play of the game. Then, of course, Kervin's done what Kervin done. Christian's had a great season thus far. Finally he's getting involved in that middle of the field, which we love seeing that. And of course, then he wins homecoming king. Just kind of sets it off right there. But tell me, what's the mindset? Of course, you coming into this knowing how good the players are, and how good of a receiver you were when you played here at Tioga and LCU. I got to get used to it. I still call them LC, but I know it's LCU now. Yeah. How much of I know, like you said, they're athletic and there's not, they're very good, but man, you were like, when you were out here, the routes that you would run, you were always so fluid and just so smooth. Tell me a little bit about the mindset that you coming into your first year of coaching and getting to work with kind of guys like this.
These guys coming in, they knew the coaches put in this work time and time every year after year. And so when I came in, they already knew what the coaches asked of them, so it's been a blessing having these guys to work with because they knew what the coaches wanted. And for me, I didn't want to do too much to them. Yeah. I just critique here and there, but for the most part, it's just them balling. Yeah. They're doing their thing. So,
well, Coach, being your first year, he's asking you about the receivers. I want to ask you about how's it working for your dad now. Now you're getting paid. Yeah. Now it's real time. How fun is that, and how's that relationship? People don't realize what it is to be with your dad every day to work. Tell everybody what is that like? And I mean, you got other coaches, but what's that like to have him there every day?
Yeah, I'm enjoying every minute of it I can. I mean, it's very different. I see him. In a different viewpoint because he was my receivers coach at Tioga when I was here, so it's very different. But he's my dad. He's also my boss now too, so it's kind of a weird situation. But no, I enjoy coaching under him and being on the sidelines with him. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
And the communication you have, Coach Landry and the OC, and you guys are you're so experienced. You have so many experienced offensive coaches. You coming in. How's that camaraderie with those guys, and especially when you're scoring this many points, you're scoring over 50 points a game. How's that chemistry working in a game set like that when you need to go down and score? How's that working with everybody?
Coach Landry, man, he's so experienced. Him and Coach Book, they do so well putting this offense together. And for most part, I just I do what he's asked because he's very experienced and I listen to everything they say. I'm just learning as I go too, because that's my first year. I'm learning as well.
Sure.
I'm coaching, so I give a lot of credit to Coach Landry and Coach Book. There, I listen and learn everything that they're telling me. So, and my dad too. So these guys are really, really helpful in my first year. And of course, these guys I have coaching for. I'm coaching. So these guys are really good too. So. I'm enjoying every minute of it.
You've got a phenomenal wide receiver room. Yeah. I mean, I know it's got, like I said, it's got to be fun knowing what they do. So, you're just fine-tuned kind of little small tweaks and things here, and, of course, Angelo's really stepped up big this year. Good fun to watch him. He's always been good. He's always been like more of that third down back, though, when you need a catch in a crucial spot. This year he's also been able to extend drives. Early on in the first, second down, that sideline, he's got a really, really good timing right now with Case. Mm-hmm. you know, we know Curvin. We can just throw it up. Curvin's going to catch it. You know, that's something that he's done since day one. But you know, this timing he has with what Case has with Angelo and Christian, and now Tarver coming back, you know, after that week one missing out. It's nice because you can run the ball, but we can throw the ball. But basically our passing game with that quick throw to the outside is kind of an extension of the running game now. It's almost like, you know, you've opened it up and you spread the field even more. It's fun to watch. It's fun to call. I can tell you, we get excited. I know y'all go back and listen to a lot of our stuff. You know, I always make fun, tell people, it's like, look, when you listen to our broadcast, let me let you know up front and right now, we are a Tioga broadcast because we get excited, we get pumped up, and we get, you know, anything Tioga does. And, of course, I love it because I got to watch you from a freshman year all the way through your senior year and how good you were and how awesome. And then you turn around and you come right back home. You know, of course, my son did the same thing. He came back to Tioga. Now he's at, you know, the D-line coach at Grambling University. And it's a special place in my heart for former Tioga players that come back here and make Tioga, you know, football even better after they graduate. And I know it got a special place in your dad's heart because, you know, he loves it. And then I'm hoping to see one day maybe the Landry boys come back here and coach again, you know, and kind of keep on that tradition. You guys do just a great job. Of course, I know you say, like you said, it's your first year, but you know football, man. And I know these young guys are excited to have someone with your type of experience to help them get better and better each week, and it shows throughout the season.
Yeah, these guys are really great, and I'm so blessed. I can't say enough for coming in and having these guys I get to work with every day. They do a really great job, and they do whatever coaches ask, and they really bought into what my dad is trying to instill in them, and you know, I'm really blessed to have these guys as a receiving core.
Yeah,
they're great.
Yeah,
well, go ahead, Coach.
Well, you know, the thing that I love is it's almost like the communication is so simple. You know, Curvin gets out there, and if he's far enough outside those numbers, and we understand what he's trying to do when he's out there, but for him, in case to be on the same page, no matter what may be called, it just seems like if the opportunity presents itself, they're going to run whatever they know they need to run to either get that touchdown or get that big play, and that's got to be exciting for you, you know, to be able to have that. And you don't ever see them come to the sidelines and there's no confusion. There's it's all togetherness, and it seems like you guys are always talking about that.
They 2-3 year starters, you know, Curvin and Case and Christian, they've been playing ball since they were sophomore together. So that continuity has kind of built over these past few years, and now they're senior year, they're putting it all together, and they're showing it out on the field. You know, I'm just sitting back there most times, just watching them saying, you know, throw it to this guy, and then we score.
Yeah, and I said that on the broadcast the other night. I said it really doesn't matter if it's 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 17. Tioga, this offense can make something happen without question. So, again, like you said, you know, your first year coaching and you come into a plethora of wide receivers here. It's got, I mean, I know I'd love to enjoy it if I could. Going on a little personal note, buddy, congratulations on the engagement.
Oh, thank you.
Coach Christman, of course, you know, I got a special place in my heart for your fiance. I coached her all of her life, and now she looks to be embarrassed over there. But congratulations to Shelby that she's going to be Mrs. Christman here soon. So congratulations. I love the fact, you know, of course, y'all have been dating for a while now,
long
and
time.
it shows that it can happen. You can marry your sweetheart, you know, absolutely, and it'll work out. So again, I love seeing you come back to Tioga again. You know, a lot of people are like, I can't wait to get out of Louisiana, but you know, it's tough to leave a place like this with this hometown feel and this great community that we have, man. And if we could, I'd love to get a couple of the wide receivers to come talk to us if they want to come in here. I know Christian's out there. We can get Christian to come on if he ain't eating.
Yeah, I don't know where Curvin went.
Curvin stepped out, I think. We'll get them to come back here. And but, Coach, you know, big week here coming up here, Peabody coming up. Of course, we travel over to Peabody High School. Come have a seat, my friend. We're going to talk. We'll mix you in there as well. But Coach, with the Peabody, you know, heading over to Peabody, it's a good little easy trip. Always right there across the river. mindset. New coach over there. Of course, he is a former teammate of Jalen at Southern. They played together at Southern University. Coach Jamar Washington, one heck of a running back at Peabody. He played at Peabody, and then he went to Southern, and he was lights out. Started 4 years at Southern, and that's not something you do a lot in college, for a running back at least. Went in there and made a name for himself, trying to change the entire mentality over there at Peabody, and they're going to be up for a challenge, but I don't know if they're going to be able to compete with the kind of skill sets that we have here at Tioga for this, and again, we don't ever take anything for granted.
Right.
I know you guys don't look past anybody. You focus on what we got here, but how do they match up with your wide receiver core, that Peabody defense?
Yeah, they're very skilled athletes over there at Peabody, and I think, for the most part, anybody we play, I think that I take my receiving core over anybody.
Absolutely.
That's what I truly think. And I'm putting my trust and faith in all the guys that I got and believe that they're going to win the game for us.
Absolutely. So. Homecoming king, Christian Isles. Man, how does it feel here? Grab that mic for me, bud. How does it feel, to get a big win on Friday night after you got to wear that? And I saw you was rocking that crown all day long, buddy. I see pictures. I've seen, of course, you was waving. You had the hand thing going in the parade. Tell me how much fun it was for you on that whole week of the homecoming week leading up to that big win.
Homecoming week's really special because everybody looks forward to it. Beginning of school, everybody's excited, see their friends and everything. Everybody's all right, we're ready for homecoming. Want to show off everything, and then it's just it's kind of surreal. And I'm really grateful for everybody in Tioga because I have to get voted for that.
Yeah.
And so that shows a lot of people, younger classmen, everybody just kind of look up to me and well, if I want somebody representing Tioga as a male figure, I want it to be Christian Isles.
Yeah.
So really, it's just really grateful. And then, of course, it's always good to win a football game.
Absolutely.
And so, beat West Ouachita, knowing how the outcome was last year, wasn't the greatest game. Everything wasn't on our side. So, we were in film last week. Coach Lynch was how last week was. What y'all want to do? We were saying the game the whole time, but we want them to know what Tioga is this year. So that's what we came out to do, and it was just very nice.
Christian, you said something that's very complimentary, and you did it very humbly. But tell me how humble you are, and I can see it on the field, the talent you have on each side of you. You're normally with Angelo more than you are with Curvin, because Curvin most of the time is on the opposite end of you guys. How is it playing with those three guys, along with Tarver, but being able to have those two guys with you on the field, knowing that, hey, at any time one of you you're gonna get the ball because of the way everybody's covering you guys?
I mean, with Curvin, glad to have Curvin because he's lights out this season. He's just balling. I've never seen it before. It kind of reminds me of Jacorian, but
Yeah,
Curvin,
very, very similar to Jacorian. Yeah.
Amazing numbers and all that kind of stuff. So it's always nice. If we're down, give it to Curvin. He's going to go make a play. Whatever he's got, if he's running the ball, if he's going to catch the ball, even if he's just blocking, he's always doing his job. And then Angelo, he's kind of on the down low because, we got Curvin. But Angelo, he does his blocks. He makes big-time plays when it's needed to happen. So it's just nice having both of those guys when you need them in big-time situations.
Yeah, speaking of Angelo, as far as blocking, absolutely. You'll see a lot of times when we run Kenny to the outside on your guys' side, you might be in that slot, and Angelo at the bottom. You guys do a great job of blocking. So there's a lot of stuff you might not get a lot of, praise on. We know how good you guys are with catching the ball, but there's a lot of guys that maybe the people that don't know a lot about football on how crucial it is for the wide receivers to be able to block on that rush to the outside. And again, it's always I say it during a lot of broadcasts. Of course, you and I have known each other for a while now, and you're one of my favorite people on the planet, especially on this Tioga team. I love how anytime we need a third down, something big, I'm always looking for you, and I know now, of course, Case is doing that this year, and we're being able to extend drives or big catches. That's why I felt so bad the other day when the first touchdown, I called the wrong name, and I was like, I'm sorry, Christian. I'm so sorry, man. Don't get mad at me. I didn't mess up the second time, though. But, man, you've been able to extend drives, just be able to do all that you do, and it's fun to watch, I'm telling you, because I'm a fan first before I'm a broadcaster, and you can hear it in our voices when we're up there. We get excited. I know Coach Book gets excited up in the press box. But we get excited too, and our cameraman, he's not the best sometimes when Cohen's scoring touchdowns too. That thing's shaking because he's shaking. He's so excited. But the season you guys had from last year, and you come into this senior year with a completely different mindset and something to prove. And Coach said it perfectly a little while ago. This is like redemption tour. This whole season, everything that you guys are doing is, and you said it without us even knowing what we were talking about earlier, about how it was at West Washita last year and how you wanted to change from the game plan that we had last year. Everything that happened during that game, you had something to prove this year. And you guys have just stepped up, and it's got to be fun to have that senior year so good. And you guys are absolutely killing it. So, Coach, I mean, kudos to you guys. It's this wide receiver core is so good. We give a lot of love, and it's football. Always that quarterback normally gets a lot of love, gets a lot of praise, well deserved, because Case he's that quiet assassin. You know what I mean? He's very quiet, but he's on the money. And then when you got these type of receivers that he has to be able to throw the ball, then you throw in Tarver in there, something over the middle in that tight end spot. It's so much fun because not only can you run the ball, you can pass the ball, but y'all are making big plays on special teams. You're out there every special teams, whether it's holding or on kickoffs. And you guys just do such a great job, and I love that we have the 11 best players on the field at all times.
Oh, yes, sir.
Go ahead, Coach. I know you got some.
Well, I love the fact that the thing about Casey, he hasn't had to scramble very much this year, okay, because of the protection that those linemen have given. But what are you and him are on the same page, because the only time he scrambles, he's only looking for one person, and it's always you. Yes, how do you know where to get in that hole or find that slot where he's going to catch you either coming back across the grain like he did several times, and you got the cool play of the game once where he came all the way back across, he threw across his body,
yeah.
And you came. Tell me, there's got to be something there you guys talk about.
I mean, it's just chemistry, just playing since 9th grade, Me and Case both played baseball when we were younger, so we've kind of grown up knowing each other. As me and Case have always been like, just find the hole. Get in the hole. Same with baseball. If you can find a hole with the bat, you're getting on base. So it's kind of just the same thing. Find a hole in the football field, and, the ball's coming to you. So that's just what I kind of try to do. I kind of give Case like an extra wave of the hand, let him know, like, hey, I'm here, throw me the ball. And so that's just kind of like, we don't really talk about it. It's just kind of like how we just think. That's
that camaraderie, and that's that team, but that's being together for so long. That makes a difference, absolutely.
Well, Coach Christman, you know, being that your dad's not here, so we're going to be able to you're going to have to give us all the answers that your dad would normally give us. What's the mindset on a week of, not a lot of travel needed, of course. It's not going to change too much of what you going on. There's not that 2-hour drive or anything. How's practice been going up thus far this week, getting prepared for that Peabody team?
Yeah, they're obviously a pretty decent team. We're not going to take any great game for granted. We're going to do what we do normally every game week. Monday install, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, hard-nosed practice like we always do, and then hit the road Friday for Peabody drive, and we'll give it all we can for them.
No, it's going to be loud. It's going to be popular. That Peabody band's always fun to listen to, across the way there.
I love a good band like that.
Yeah, we're going to change it up a little bit this week. We're not going to be in the press box. We're going to be in the stands with the Tioga fans broadcasting awesome. Friday night. They offered us to go above on top of the press box, and I said, no, we're good. I want to be in the stands. Again, we like to have a little bit of quiet, sometimes on certain things, so we can, we don't want anything bleeding into anything or our mics. But I always find it fun. We can try to do it at least once every year, try to get into the stands and get the parents involved here and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a fun night for us as well. We'll be in the mix with all these Tioga fans. We'll be able to hear that Peabody band coming right at us, which is always fun. That bass drum is going to be kicking here in Alexandria. But we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about a few things here at Tioga football. But thank you, Coach Christman, so much for coming. Appreciate it, Ethan. Yep. And, of course, Christian Isles, thank you. Curvin, I see him now. He was off. I think he had stepped away just for a second here. But we appreciate the wide receivers for coming tonight here. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. This is the Reservation Roundup live at Quebedeaux on a Tuesday night here. We'll be right back on 446 Sports.
Everybody dancing all night long.
At Alexandria Solutions, we believe every strong community starts with healthy minds and healthy families. That's why we're proud to stand alongside Tioga High School as a corporate sponsor. We're here to support the Tioga Indians from the classroom to the playing field, because when students succeed, our whole community thrives. At Alexandria Solutions, we provide compassionate care for mental health and addiction. No referral is needed to make an appointment, and we accept most insurances, because getting help should be simple. Alexandria Solutions, proud to support the Tioga Indians and proud to serve our community. Go Indians! Tonight's game is brought to you in part by your local convenience stores, where friendly faces, cold drinks, hot snacks, and everything you need are just around the corner. For a quick stop before the big game, your hometown convenience stores are always ready, always here for you. Swing by today, and remember, support local, shop local. Highway 2080 Chevron, Kingstop, Fuel Plus, Ball Chevron, and Cougar Stop.
At Woodman Life, we believe in standing strong for our communities because together we can build a brighter future. From supporting local schools with resources and scholarships to sponsoring programs that give children the tools they need to succeed, Woodman Life is proud to invest in the next generation. Our members live, work, and serve right here in your hometown, volunteering and making a difference where it matters most. When you see Woodman Life, you see neighbors helping neighbors and a promise to keep giving back. Woodman Life, standing strong for community, standing strong for you.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. As the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right all year round. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $6,000.
Find a dealer near you at LouisianaKubotaDealers.com.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
ugh, come on!
Seriously? This is so extra.
But what you could say is,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your local State Farm agent is available when and where you need them, online, over the phone, or even in person. State Farm agents are here to answer your questions and help you file your claim.
This is so extra.
Discover golf like never before at Links on the Bayou, Central Louisiana's hidden gem. Welcome to a golf experience like no other. Our Links-style design sets the stage for an exciting and unique adventure. 5 distinct tee boxes cater to every skill level, ensuring a game that's perfect for you. And when you're ready to refuel, head to Becky's Bunker Club for dining with a view. And gear up in our pro shop, ready to elevate your golfing experience? Tee off at Links on the Bayou today. Links on the Bayou, redefining the way you enjoy golf.
We've all seen how quickly things can change. Everything from the world around us to the cost of things we use on a daily basis. That's why we all need someone in our corner to keep our family protected while still watching out for our pocketbook. I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. There's no better time than now to complete an insurance review to make sure you're properly covered and not paying too much. Whether it's in our office, at your home, or your place of business, let us help you find peace of mind. If you're in need of your insurance checkup, whether auto, home, or life, talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
When it comes to celebrating big moments, BK Distributors has you covered. From eye-catching fathead decals and senior banners to custom cutouts that bring your favorite faces to life, we help make memories larger than life. Cheer loud and proud with hand fans and personalized signs, or honor achievement.
Well, welcome back. I can't hear it in my ear. Don't know if they can hear me or not, but I can hear it over the speaker. But I can't. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it might be something. That's fine. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are at the Reservation Roundup, live at Quebedeaux here in Pineville. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in here. Everybody that showed up, of course, tonight's wide receiver night. Appreciate Coach Ethan Christman and the wide receivers coming in and talking with us a little bit here. Big matchup tomorrow. See, I told you I was going to say it tomorrow night. Friday night at Peabody High School as Tioga takes on the Warhorses out of Peabody for district game number 3, Coach. And, Tioga right now going in 2-0 in district play, trying to extend that district, that unbeaten district record. We want to make sure that keeps happening. Again, like we said on the air a little while ago, we will be in the stadium, but we'll be in the stands with the Tioga faithful. So, we'll be watching. Stay tuned. Come talk to us. Come in, have a little fun with us at Peabody. But again, final segment of the night here, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things going on. Of course, the Tioga Junior High, Coach Travis Racine, the junior high football season, their final game is Thursday against Natchitoches Central, and he does such a great job of getting the guys prepared. The reason that a lot of these guys are so good at this high school level is because they were prepared through that same program. They run a lot of the same plays. That way that when you go from junior high to high school, it's it's not a big change. It's not a big adjustment for these young guys.
Yeah, and here's the thing that what I find interesting, and not being a part of Tioga, but knowing about Tioga, the success that they've had over the years, and this dates way back many years ago. The success they've had is because of their feeder schools and what they do on the feeder end. And if you look at those schools up north and the success they've had with their high school programs, it's because of what their feeder programs do. So as a coach, that's what you're wanting your feeder programs to be built around your high school programs. And they understand that. He understands that. And look, maybe he might have one bad year, maybe he doesn't, but to build those guys in their mindset, in the culture, in the standard, that's where it's created. You see all these college programs talk about standard and culture. It really, it's built further down. It's built way back. You don't just come and turn the switch on, but it's built over time. And you see that, and in Tioga, you can tip your hat and say, hey, we've had that success over years, and now it's become the standard in the football and the Red River football, all that stuff. That's become a standard, and everybody wants to be a part of it. You were telling us, and I'll let you talk more about it because we're filling this in, but they play Super Bowl games, and it's a big deal in this community, and those kids look forward to playing that. Then they look forward to playing junior high, and then get into high school. But they're preparing themselves for high school. And all of these guys coaching that, that's what they're preparing for. Nobody's trying to go out there and go undefeated for a T-shirt.
Absolutely.
They're trying to build for the bigger picture. And when you see the bigger picture, it works that way. And, kudos to those guys for what they do. And, look, that's a tough job, man, coaching those young kids and getting them to focus up. And, in that junior high program, that's huge. And again, it starts way down at the bottom. And man, what a great job this program the whole community does with football here.
Well, Coach Travis Racine, again, he's that Tioga Junior High head coach, but he's also the president of Red River Youth Football. And it's not just a Tioga thing by any means. This Red River, but we have, again, I say we because I'm part of the organization now. I'm the PA guy. But we have Alexandria, we have Buckeye, we have Grant, Tioga, And so, like, everybody comes play, and they basically have their area that they are. They get a team together, and they come put it in different age groups, all the way from flag to the younger ones, first-year tackle, and all that. And I'm telling you, the athletes here, it's what the future. And, again, all these guys that are playing in the high school right now, they all came from that Red River youth football. Case Malone, I watched him from age 5. Coming in there and playing all the way through, playing Red River, and his dad coached him through Red River, and the coaching is phenomenal at these schools. Again, my buddy Kyle Sellers, his son is the quarterback at Ash right now. Well, he's got a younger son that's a little bitty fella, but plays quarterback and throw it 25, 30 yards down on a tight spiral, buddy. At like 9 years old. It's crazy, like over the top. They're reading defenses. They're doing all this kind of stuff. It builds the program. It makes all these schools, and this is beneficial not only for Tioga, but it's beneficial for Pineville, Buckeye, Grant, Alexandria. They got a team out there called the Showboys. They're all junior highs, and the two-star players on that team are the reason that Arthur F. Smith won the junior high championship this year.
Sure.
When I tell you these dudes look like they're 6'3", at 12 and 13 years old, they're massive, and but the talent level is so good that it builds this whole Central Louisiana football. We have a team from Avoyelles, so they're called the Avoyelles Elite, Avoyelles Parish Elite, and when I tell you they are a well-oiled machine, I want to say their head coach is also a coach at Bunkie and Washington, I think the last name is, but when I tell you they're good, buddy, they are good. And I'm talking about from running the game to throwing it over the top and doing everything that you see in a high school football game. They're doing no huddle. They're doing quick, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, you're amazed how good and how good these athletes are. And then I get lucky enough to call a flag football game. And it's so funny because we got music playing. It's all about entertainment. It's having a good time.
Sure.
So we'll be at a timeout, then we start playing music. And them 4 and 5 year olds ain't nothing listening to that coach. They out there dancing, doing all to the beat.
Yeah.
And then you turn around, you stop that music, they call a play, and then boom, they gone scoring a 60-yard touchdown run. And it's so much fun to watch these young guys and girls. There's girls that's out there too. So it's a lot of fun, and it really builds character. And it builds, it builds these programs up. So every school around Central Louisiana is reaping the benefits of Red River football.
Well, and that's what you want. And I've heard coaches say that across me not being from here and only been living here since 2020. We've heard about Central Louisiana. They're not good in football. They're not good in football. They're not good. People need to come and see what Central Louisiana has in football. And I'm telling you, you'll be amazed. And that, again, it goes back to what they're doing on the lower end. And you said it best. There's some very good guys coaching those those youth programs. And then you've got some very good junior high coaches in this community.
Yeah.
And in Sinlaw. And as long as they can continue to do that, and, being from Southwest Louisiana, we didn't have that. There was too many people and there was too many schools. So you really didn't have that. You had your junior high program, and every small program was built around the elementary schools, or they were built around just the junior high programs. And most of the time it was just junior high. And you only played 2 or 3 games. You didn't play these guys go all the way into December.
They're running 8 games plus playoffs and all that kind of stuff.
So that's what. And again, whoever's put together this plan, and this is what is going to only help build Central Louisiana football, and that's why you see the success you're seeing this year, and that's why you're getting these quality coaches at this high school level, and they're having so much success, and they're doing such a great job. And the Grants, the people, they've had success. They've had great runs in the playoffs. All these schools in this community and in this area, in this parish, they've had success. And even some of the outer lining schools. You take a look at Gina. They constantly having success.
Manny's they've had a lot of state time,
Montgomery, LaSalle, all those, they've always had. Caldwell always has. I mean, and they all play in this area. And then you go to Bunkie, you go to Avoyelles, you go to Marksville. All those schools are having success. So to be a part of